So what's your perception when you see a big bald-headed inmate standing on a TEDx stage wearing prison blues? Are you thinking, I wonder what that guy did? Or look at those tattoos, he must be one of those white supremacists or a gang member. Are you curious to what the reality may be? You see, the reality for me is, and the truth is under this bald head and these few tattoos, I was a former corrections officer and 911 dispatcher, and most importantly, family man.
Everybody, welcome to Enough for the BS podcast. Thank you for tuning in wherever, however you may be listening, whether it be the Spreaker app, iHeartRadio, or our new home, iTunes. We are in the Apple family. I don't have an Apple, but hey, I will find one. I might just buy one just so I can listen to the show. This show, as you heard from the intro, will be about perception versus reality. I wanted people to know, I wanted people who may not be aware of the difference between the two. And our next two athletes that I'm going to discuss will maybe have you think a little before you speak. That's the ultimate goal of this show. But once again, my name is Tyler Butler, and with my host, Josh Smith.
Yes, sir.
What's going on, Jay?
Ready to get it in.
Yeah, this should be very, very interesting. Perception versus reality. I felt like a lot of people are lost when it especially comes to the sports world, the difference in the two terms. And you can use those two in everyday factors of life. For example, I was on Facebook the other day, and I saw a little kid that was trying to sell candy in front of Target.
Okay.
And this old lady ran up to him and was harassing him.
Wow.
And asked him for a permit to sell the candy.
Oh, just a regular person?
Yeah, just a regular person. Just ran up to him. Older lady ran up on this little kid who was trying to sell candy in front of a Target. Mm-hmm. Now, the perception is he's, I guess, a panhandler.
Yeah.
Just a little crook trying to make a little come up for herself, and as she quoted, ruining the economy, whatever the hell that's supposed to mean. But in reality, and I don't know this, but you don't know what that little kid was trying to raise money for.
Don't know that.
He could have had a summer vacation with his family trying to save. Maybe his mother has cancer, and he's trying to buy her medicine for next week. You never know what the reality is, but everybody loves to go off perception. What is perception exactly? It's the ability to see, hear, or become aware of the senses. In other words, believing in something just because you see it or hear it.
Yeah.
For example, LeBron James.
Mm-mm.
The reality is the state of things as they actually exist, as opposed to a notion or idea. Stating the facts.
Yes.
Which is what we about to get to right now. Before I get into breaking down everything, what is your feel about the difference between perception and reality, and especially in the world of sports?
Like you said, perception is what you see. You may not necessarily know it for a fact. Like you just see it and you assume something. Reality is facts.
Absolutely.
Fact is, LeBron has lost, 3-4 NBA finals. That's the reality.
That's a fact.
Yeah, that's a fact.
That's something we're not making up here. And
no, I didn't make it up.
Try to get to this, because this one post that I saw on Facebook, and I'm not going to name the person who posted it, but this is what sparked this show. This is what motivated me to make this show.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to read it to you.
Should
You
name
guys
them. Name them.
name them. Do I
I
have
say
it?
that.
I took a screenshot. I don't have it.
You should don't call them out. But I get you. If you don't want to name them, I get it.
Well, I don't have it. I just took a screenshot.
Okay.
But I have what she said. It was a female.
Oh, wow, okay.
Obviously a LeBron James fan.
Of course.
But so this is what sparked the conversation in my heart. And I was like, okay, I'm making a show to set the record straight on certain situations.
Okay.
And we also, it's not just LeBron James. We're going to be talking about LeBron and Derrick Rose for you guys. But this is what she said. LeBron James, been in the spotlight since a teenager, has had more hype around him, more expectations, and lived up to them. Champion on every level. After signing his first contract, sent his childhood friends to school so they would have their own businesses. Very business savvy. Stop right there.
Not true.
So LeBron is Magic Johnson all of a sudden when it comes to business.
I think she's talking about what's Rich Paul, right?
I'm assuming, yeah.
I don't know if LeBron paid for it, but I'm sure they just pretty much learned the ropes.
According to her, it's multiple. She says childhood.
It's another
friends
guy. I forgot
with
the other
S.
guy's name, but it's two guys: Rich Paul and then some other guy. But I want to say they just learned the ropes. I don't know. It's perception. I don't know what the reality is on that, but yeah, okay.
I'll continue with this because
Yeah.
it's pretty long. And where are we? Oh, yeah. Just signed a $1 billion deal with Nike.
Not true.
To date, has donated almost $42 million so that kids can go to college for free. I condemn that. That's awesome. Married man. Married his high school girlfriend. First thing he says when walking off the court is, "Where's my wife?" Made a promise to his city, kept his promise. That has absolutely nothing to do with nothing.
No.
I can promise anything.
Exactly. And you left and you came back.
Absolutely. I will continue. Where are we? Oh, yeah. Been in the finals every year since the decision. This year, led both teams in the 5 major categories. Olympic gold, all around good dude perception. Yet people still try to bring him down perception. Talk about his family, his hair. What the hell does that have to do with anything? Or whatever they can think of. Instead of accepting what we are witnessing, won't admire he's great. In 2016, and this is the ultimate perception, quote unquote, this is what it's like to be a black man in America.
Nah, bruh.
This is why I run with LeBron. Excuse my language, but shit is bigger than basketball.
No, it's not. Like, what are you talking about? You taking basketball and you putting it into some CNN type, political science.
This is what it's like to be a black man in America.
A millionaire?
To have a $1 billion Nike contract?
Exactly.
I wish I was
I
that
wish
black
I
man.
was that black. Exactly.
I don't know a black
Let me
man with
be
$1 billion
LeBron.
contract.
Let me be LeBron.
I would love to have his problems right now.
Yeah, so much so.
I can barely afford to pay my mortgage.
Exactly. But this is what it's like to have a
this is what it's
$1 billion
like.
Nike
Yeah.
contract. And I don't even think it's $1 billion, but that's something different. I don't know, but
But
I'm
it's
just shocked by that. Why are you taking it that seriously? I'm talking ball. I'm talking NBA. All that other stuff you want to talk about, just throw it out. I'm just talking about on the basketball court.
Yeah,
How about you? Is that what you're talking about, or
everything I talk about has to do with sports.
I don't understand how you
Talking about a man's hair and his family.
It's just funny.
What does that have to do with being a black man?
No one even talks about LeBron. People no one talks about LeBron's family.
I've never heard of that.
Because I would say Savannah, she does keep a low profile.
Savannah's kind of quiet.
And then
Everybody love his kid.
Exactly.
The dude is nice.
The Steph Curry stuff. Oh my God! Like, have you seen the disrespectful stuff?
Yeah, they destroy his
Kyrie
family.
face on his body. When
Yeah,
he's
the
sitting
little
there.
crying Jordan
Yeah.
face on his baby.
Yeah, like they disrespect Stephen Curry's family, but I don't know who's disrespecting LeBron's family. But
And I mean, and being a hometown kid, and I guess that's why people's perception is so murky.
Mhm.
The perception of LeBron, especially after winning this championship for Cleveland, is certainly he's the greatest of all time.
no,
So this is where we step in.
yes,
This is where reality steps in.
yes.
So let's go ahead and let's get into reality. And what I want to ask you, what makes an NBA player one of the greatest of all time? What is a key factor that player needs to make him the greatest of all time?
First of all, it's championships. I mean, you can't
One.
be great without having multiple championships. Like you said, kind of, sort of clutch. Everybody I think everybody looks at Michael and says, "Hey, he's 6-0." But I mean, you can lose a couple, but you gotta show up when you do lose. You just can't lose and just not show up. You gotta show up to the party. Is one
Absolutely.
part of it, and you gotta have this instinct to know what your team needs when it's time to win. And like you said, everybody says Michael 6-0. Michael lost a couple. It wasn't in the finals, but he lost against the Magic?
Yeah,
Orlando
they
Magic?
lost in Orlando. Nick Anderson stripped him.
I mean, it happens. But you just can't continuously lose and not show up. Like, that's just, like, you gotta show up and you gotta win. That's just the main thing. You gotta win. Just win.
Point blank period. What I think of when I think of the word great, I think of clutch gene.
Yeah, yeah.
Reality. Dating back to 2006, 2007, LeBron is 5 for 47 in regular season on shots to tie or take the lead. That's 10.6%. League average, 22.6. He's at 10%. 5 for 47.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, I mean, if you want to get on the comparison, Kobe is only 13 for 48. But that's 27%. As I mentioned before, league average is 22.
Yeah, yeah.
One stat that people always try to bring up is like Brian Winsdorf's boyfriend. He said that LeBron has taken 13 more go-ahead shots in the playoff within 5 seconds or less, and MJ has made only 7. So that makes him somehow greater because
No.
he's made more last-second shots in the playoff. The opportunities are there for LeBron.
Exactly. Michael
When you
ain't gonna
play-
let you do that.
When you play more games, because all your rounds are going game 7, because you
yeah.
can't close out a series, you're going to have more opportunities. Jordan closed games.
Exactly.
That's why the number of attempts are not there, because the freaking games was over.
Let's look at game
Brian
6s.
Winsdorf.
Yeah, let's look at game 5 and 6s, because those are pretty much Michael's game 7s. 5 and 6s. How many does Michael have? And then I'm sure that would blow LeBron right out of the water. Like I said, Mike never played a game 7 in the finals. LeBron didn't play, 2? This is the second one?
Something like that. And it's so many, and mostly, I know I addressed you LeBron James fans before, but you guys keep
Making
riding me,
up
man.
stuff.
Yeah, and making up these phantom stats. And
LeBron has scored 99 points per 100 possessions in the last 4 years. That's better than anyone else. It's made up stats. Just stop it.
yeah, and I mean, don't forget about that San Antonio series. Both of them. The
Yeah,
one he got
exactly.
swept, and the one he completely disappeared. And if it wasn't for Ray Allen, and I know I keep saying this week after week, but guys, this is reality. This is a fact.
Yeah.
Ray Allen saved the freaking series. Well, LeBron had 3 or 4 turnovers coming down the stretch of the fourth. That's a
LeBron
fact.
has at least, off the top of my head, I want to say it was 2010. Was it Orlando? When Orlando got to the finals? They beat the Cavs 4-1.